You are looking live at Side Pockets, Blue Springs, Missouri, with Ultimate Pool's USA Kansas City Open. Ordinarily, this town is the home of the Chiefs. This weekend, it's the home of Ultimate Pool USA. So many brilliant players are here this weekend, and one of them will lift the big grand title. Stephen Jameson and Stephen Wyatt with you. Two Stephens, two nations. Both massive pool fans, and that is what it's all about with Ultimate Pool USA. And we're here to bring the fun, Steve, because the shootout, whilst it's a serious event, make no mistake, this is a title to be won with a decent cash prize on it as well. But the shootout is fun. Might not be for the players, but goodness, it's fun for us.
Oh, it's fun for me. That's absolutely correct. The drama of the shot clock and the match clock and everything involved. This is what I want to watch pool all the time now.
Tyler's made a ball first up. We are playing some 8-ball. Pick your suit. Solids or stripes. Pull the 8-ball, win the frame.
He's got a little bit of an issue here with the 11 and the 2. Doesn't make things easy. I'm not sure we're going to get the break and run that you see Tyler do so much because the 2-ball is just a little stuck.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. This is the very first match of the entire weekend here in Kansas City, and we'll have plenty of matches on this table, but right now this is brand new. No one really knows how it's going to play, how quick it is, how the pockets are playing. And Tyler is naturally pretty aggressive. He needs to find a way to break out that 2-ball, though. It might go as a 3-ball plan, but I don't think he's got any ball to work that, so have to move it out at some stage, you would imagine. And he had to turn that one in.
Yeah, and this table is very quick, and the pockets are not they're not huge, so it does take some finesse to pocket the balls on here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. He may be going for the 2-ball here. Oh.
Good news, bad news. 2 balls out. The 8-ball still remains a small problem.
And I'm not sure if he has a shot on the 8-ball right now. I don't think it banks into the top right corner. So realistically, he may have to work for another bump on that, which it shouldn't be too difficult with where he's at on the table.
Tyler's in some fantastic form at the moment. A couple of big titles recently.
And we can't downplay the fact that he was the runner-up in the Open event in Louisiana. Played immaculate against Chris Melling in the finals.
Yeah, did not do a whole lot wrong to end up on the losing side of that one. And the bank is no good.
Just a little shy there. And our first look at Eric Picard. I'm not extremely familiar with him, but I know that he's got to be a decent shooter. And we're going to see just how good he is.
Well, that's the thing with the shootout. It can make superstars. It puts the top players under so much pressure. That's a lovely shot first up. Confidence booster for Eric.
And now with the 8-ball out in the open, this is run-out pool now. You cannot afford to make a mistake.
Well, this is a dream scenario, isn't it, for Eric? He'd have woken up this morning. He knows he's playing Tyler Steyer. He knows he's in for a big match. First up on the stream table here in Kansas City. What you want in your first frame is exactly this.
And that's a type of pressure in itself, knowing that you're the first one. It can be very daunting for a player. I wouldn't want to go first.
Yeah, that right there wasn't the greatest shot that Eric's ever played. But
the good news is
still
here,
okay.
With the 10-ball where it is, he has a little bit of an insurance policy with all the balls being down there. He can just kind of work them smoothly and get back up to that 11 right before he goes for the 8. So it should be good here.
Wow.
Well, that one, maybe a little bit of nerves there.
I mean, that is, let's be clear, that is a terrible miss. I mean, it came out of nowhere.
And the thing about it is, these pockets, because of the table that we're looking at, you think, oh, the pockets may be big, but they're just not. They are smaller, and the balls don't have to go. And Eric just wasn't, maybe he just lost his concentration.
Tyler Steyer knocks in the 8-ball, so second visit clearance from Tyler.
Very, very unique to the format of the shootout, so it's going to be exciting to see if we get any of those.
Cue ball, Tyler. Cue ball.
Big break coming up. Ball down. Cue ball stays up. Very open table. This might be the satellite break of what you want every single time. No, and if you ever wanted an opportunity to just break and run, the easiest run you can get, he's definitely got it here. He just needs to stay focused. If he can do that, he's got a very nice run out here.
Yeah, just about keeping that concentration. The 2 visits to the table Eric has had so far, he's played well. But in each visit, he has made one jarring mistake. It's cost him 2 frames.
And this is such a big game right now, tying it up 2-2 against Tyler, when it should be realistically 3-0. Good shot there. Depending on the speed of the table, he should just be able to float the 15 into the side pocket and either just roll up for the 12, or he could go all the way to the top rail. And he's got that insurance policy of the 10 ball sitting close to the side pocket. I think he got a little in between there, but he's got a shot on the 12 in the other side pocket, so this is good. Just make the ball. Very nice there. 1 8-ball away from tying the score with the baby-faced assassin Tyler Steyer. And there it is.
The breaking has been good in this match. Every break has been good. Made a ball, kept the white on the table.
And the layout here is very, very favorable.
Yeah, this match is not over yet. Shootout pool can change very, very quickly. But win this frame. And Tyler goes to the hill, but a 3-frame lead at this stage in the match would probably be enough for him anyway.
Yeah, and with the golden break and the golden duck in play in the shootout format, things can indeed change very quickly. And that may be what Eric's going to need here after this one.
Really like the way that Tyler's gone about this visit.
Very smart shot there, knowing the angle was very straight into the side. didn't have the angle to get back on the 6 of the 2 very well. So a lot of players will shoot that and try to force something, and Tyler, using his wealth of knowledge, to just simply shoot the ball in the other corner. This is a little tricky here.
Yeah, he's got to find a gap, hasn't he?
Touch of a side pocket shot. Clock's ticking. Cue ball's going to be moving a little bit. Wow.
Oh, how well executed is that?
Hey, don't get much better than that, Steve.
On a dime from Tyler Steyer. 2 minutes.
Ball.
Well, that'll do it.
On the break. Golden break.
That will do it. Tyler Steyer ends it in style. I don't think he can quite believe that's how it ended. But a golden break from Tyler ends the match. Oh. Eric looks like he's surprised at that information. But that is that. A 6-frame-to-3 victory. And Tyler Steyer wins it in the grand manner with a golden break.
Well, we talked about excitement, all the things that can happen in this shootout format. We've seen a gambit of it all right here.
All the equipment completely different. And Shane there originally put his hand up as a little gesture of politeness for the cue ball being saved from being scratched in the top left. And he got his justice anyway, because then it swiftly fell into the middle pocket. Have a watch of this. Gets saved there. Hand goes up. Yep, fair enough. An honest reaction from the safe cracker. So first poke will go to Ricky Evans. And we were just having some fun in the break there, myself and Steve, because there will be some moments, guys, don't hate me too much, where I do fall into the trap of using some words that you won't be familiar with. Covering 8-ball pool over the Atlantic. We have our words, you have yours. I'm doing my best.
Hey, it's going to be a learning process for both of us. I tend to, especially prior to this, I would catch myself using those terms that maybe Americans don't know, a plant or a screw back, and it's just from being around it. So yeah, terminology a little different, but it all means the same thing when it comes to this. Ricky Evans here, as he looks at the table, I do love the little bit of banter though. It's great working with somebody who has an accent that's a little different than mine. And Ricky here, not sure what he's playing for afterwards. This is going to get tough. And now he's left with what's going to be a tough bank shot or a very, very steep cut. It's not impossible. And there's a little bit of a play here because he has the opportunity to run into the 15 and change things up a little bit. Just like that. Just needs a good roll. 10 ball in the side available.
I think he'll be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have the angle for the easy shape on the 15. He'd love to be a little bit further down to just roll up. But it's not meant to be on this shape. He's under. He's going to have to do something a little extra with the cue ball. It's always risky in these situations.
Oh, he's played that beautifully. Really nice shot.
With a little risk comes a little reward here. Ricky Evans drawing first blood against Shane Thompson. Opening rack. Goes down for Ricky Evans. Ricky Evans, he's a former junior national champion.
The whole goal of the shootout is to try and force a result and put these players under the biggest time pressure that we can. It creates some fabulous entertainment. Shane Thompson disappointed, glares back at the table. Chance for Ricky Evans here to go 3-0 in front. What the 15-second shot clock often introduces is the possibility of a comeback as well. The last 10 minutes are played at a much quicker pace. We saw, didn't we, And Eric Pickard take out a finish that was, what, about 45, 50 seconds. Just put Tyler Steyer under a little bit of pressure when it looked like Tyler couldn't lose. All of a sudden he thought, well, hell, this next frame I've actually got to go and win.
Yeah, I mean, this format's the epitome of anything can happen. And when we say anything, it literally anything. Just changing the scores so quickly. The golden break, the golden duck, quick run-outs, easily missed balls when the pressure's on. That's the drama that the shootout format brings to Ultimate Pool USA.
Yeah, and you can just see there, good angles to see it on a couple of our close-up shots. That whilst we are playing on a valley table, which I'm led to believe, Stephen, comes with its reputations, but this main arena table is well, it's been custom built. It's got its little modifications. These pockets are playing tighter than the valley that you'll be used to playing on maybe around the country.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest about it. The valleys generally have larger pockets and accept a lot of balls that maybe wouldn't go on other tables. But here in this arena, this table does have very tight pockets. The rails are very quick. The bed is very quick. So when you have new cloth, slick felt, tight pockets, sometimes things go. And I think what we'll see here is during the shootout, you're going to see a lot of balls dip into the pocket. And by Sunday, when we're in the finals of the Open and the juniors and the women's, this table is going to be quite a bit tighter than it is today.
Ricky's played a good shot there. He didn't play a good one the shot before, left himself hampered, but he's right back into prime position here. Gets through the ball nicely, doesn't he?
He does, and this is big for Ricky. That rack just 3 minutes long, and very quickly Ricky Evans up 3-0 against the safecracker Shane Thompson. They are very rare, but they have happened, and they have happened at the costliest of times.
Yeah, they usually do. They have a funny knack for that.
And Shane here with the ball down just wants to work out what the best option for him is. The 14 and the 6 being tied up the way they are really makes things a little difficult. It's really going to come down to preference here, and I think he's going to move the 6 ball. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, you can see here that shot was all about the timing and the pace of his cue ball. Just allowed the spin to grip, dig into the cloth, and hook back into the cannon. Just checking my work here. Steve, cannon, is that US parlance?
Cannon, so that's gonna be a carom or a kiss.
Okay. Every day's a school day for me.
The one that always gets me is plant, because when I think of a plant, I think of a ball planting off of another, like a carom or a cannon.
Okay.
But for you guys, a plant is just what we call a combination or a combo. Shane not needing any of those crazy technical terms. He's just making balls and looking for the run out. He's really going to have to play this well. And we are down to the 15-second shot clock, so it is going very, very quickly now.
Yeah, the 15 seconds a shot is where I think Shane and the other non-American players here in this event will have an advantage. They have played on 15 seconds a shot a lot over the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, and Shane played that really, really well. And I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. I think the time makes Shane play very well. I think he's 100% comfortable with that shot clock and with the match clock.
So 4 each, 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Strap in. 8 ball on the move. Wants any ball, wants any ball. What a time to break dry, and you can see the frustration etched on every single sinew of Shane Thompson's body.
Now let's look at this. Let's analyze this. We have 15 seconds a shot. Ricky needs to take a shot here quickly. However, 15 seconds a shot. There are 8 balls that he has to make. He can dwindle this clock down to where it is almost impossible for Shane to win.
And because it's Shane's break as well, Ricky has a big advantage here. Because if he can get this clock down to below 30 seconds, below what would be seen as a sort of record-breaking clearance, he knows he's got the break. So there's no danger here of, say, if, for example, this was Ricky's break, and he cleans them up, Shane's going to have a chance at a golden break. He won't. Ricky has the match in his hands here.
Oh, and this is the opportunity here. Oh, no. That's gotten a little rough. Ricky Evans has not missed a single intended shot at this point, as far as I'm aware. And this is really where it counts.
Oh, how's your cue ball? Has he hit the gap? I think so.
He's got the 14 in the corner, but it's very touchy for the 13 to go in that bottom left-hand pocket. I think he's going to have to draw back. Time is at 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah, and this is, and we can't be too critical here of Ricky. It's the first time he's ever played this format. And there you go. Now he gets time to think. Now he's got 2 shots, and it's there for him. Just takes that extension. Yeah, he could do, and that might be a missed trick. Pot's clean. 8 ball is there.
Take all your 15 seconds here, Ricky. That's the play.
So when will that clock stop? Ricky Evans goes into the lead, and he is going to leave 35 seconds.
And you may even see Shane Thompson extend a hand if a ball goes down. Shane's got his cue ready. He's coming to the table.
30 seconds then, Shane.
The
time to dance.
the solids are open. Oh, the 6 ball was moving.
Oh, the 6 was still spinning. So that's going to be the foul. That's tough for Shane. That really is.
That is so unfortunate here. The 6 ball still spinning, and Shane, as soon as he struck the cue ball, our referee calls the foul.
Yeah, Ricky doesn't need to get too fancy here. Pot a ball and the game is done. And what a performance from Ricky Evans in his first ever shootout experience. He gets a victory and goes into the quarterfinal where he'll face Tyler Steyer later on tonight.
Stephen White in the booth, and I have a special guest with me here. It is Mr. Del Sim. Del, how are you?
And thank you so much for the invitation into the booth. I'm a big fan of Jordan Shepherd, so I'm interested to see how he'll do on the American table.
This is Jordan's first trip over here for an Ultimate Pool USA event.
Oh, yes.
And he has been doing a lot of practicing. We've spent a lot of time with him. He's a very, very humble guy, but he plays so good.
He's not wasting any time, mate. Wonder lag. Decent break, and he's already on solids.
Yeah, and he has a reputation for being a faster player. Obviously, Mike Banks Jr., his opponent, he's a local here to Kansas City. Mm-hmm. He's a very good player. Not a lot of experience with this tournament setup, so
he looks a bit nervous, doesn't he?
He's going to be
a little bit of nerves.
Going to be quite interesting to see how he fares in the situation that he's in with a really great player like Jordan Shepherd.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. You know, Jordan's used to the yellows and reds of English pool, and it's interesting. You know, his pan was slightly off there. He was closer to that combo before and chose to go up table. So you might see him go up and down. It might not be the regular patterns we're used to for 8 ball. And I don't think they need them. You know, the table's bigger, the balls are heavier. It's a much different experience, I think, for someone like Jordan.
Well, and something that we've talked about here, one, the reds and yellows that he's used to, it is very easy to see the pattern.
It is, yeah.
Compared to stripes and solids, the pattern is not always absolutely evident. So it is very. See, you saw it there. He actually just counted to make sure that he wasn't missing a solid. So that is a real thing that Jordan Shepard is going to have to contend with. Is he's just not used to stripes and solids. I think it's just a totally different game, and it's hard to call exactly what it is. But
I'm a bit disappointed so far because I haven't seen him take one single bank shot. And with a name like that, you've got to play the bank, surely.
Well, and Mike is a very much so a one pocket player.
Okay.
He is a very strategic player when it comes to that game.
That was a great break, by the way. These are wide open. Just has to look at his problem ball, which is the 1, and he's trying to get rid of that early, which is a great shot.
See, and you see this. So you see the first 2 racks are extremely wobbly for both players. We saw it on the first one.
Definitely.
We saw it on the second one, and now we've seen it on the third ones. But that third rack is where everybody kind of settles in, and then you really start to see good pull. But the thing about it is with this match clock, at your game 3, you're a third of the way through the match clock, so you don't have a ton of time to like really prepare yourself for that 15-second shot clock, and it is something that you have to be ready for.
It's an unfortunate fact, and it's a great point, but you really need the best players adapt quickest, and there's no truer saying in pool than those that complain about the cloth and those that just adapt. And he's in a nice position here. Just going to have to decide now what he wants to play. He might have to play a deep draw stroke here just to get around the 7, go side rail and out. Yeah, he actually bumped into the 7. He's been very fortunate there. And wouldn't be surprised now if he just rolls in behind. You know, there's no scratch, so he could just land on the 15 just to make sure that he controls this, or he could go to the rail. We absolutely pumped it. You kidding me? He must have had a different roll and a different angle than what I thought there.
And this is going to make this next shot very, very touchy.
Yeah, there's no positional value here, I'm afraid. So I think this one's going to be, let me just slide it in and see if I get some kind of contact on the cluster in front. Yeah, he got a little bit of contact, needs another bounce.
Watch the cue ball.
I don't think he's got it. This is a straight scratch.
There might be a possibility of the 9 ball. I mean, it's slim. It's very slim.
I like the 8 off the 14 if he's going to go for it. This is a one pocket shot.
If he can see it.
Play the carom off of the 14. Oh, he went straight. Yeah, see, it was a straight scratch. I don't know why he played that, and that's a loss of game.
And then the gentleman joining me in the booth, Mr. Del Sim, is going to take on the iceberg Justin Bergman.
I don't know about take on. Watch.
Well, hey, you're getting a little bit of an advantage sitting in here. You're able to analyze a little bit. And
that's why I got here early.
Yeah, there you go. Analyze the table, see how it plays by watching. You must be a smart man, Del.
I work for a living. That's why I don't play pool full time.
Then you are indeed a smart man, sir.
As much as I would love to. The competition is what draws me, honestly. And really nice layout here for Mike Banks to get himself right back in the game. It's not over yet. You know,
so let me ask you this, as a spectator, how much do you enjoy watching this format?
Oh, it's fantastic because, you know, not only, you know, for a lot of TV sports when you're kind of watching it, being able to kind of program that and know that the match is going to be over at 30 minutes, whatever. It suits league format, it suits TV format, it suits everything. So, you know, I'm very impressed with it so far, and as a spectator especially, I love the viewing side of it. A lot of pressure with the shot clock as well.
Yeah, it creates the drama, and of course with the announcement of the Ultimate Pool USA League and that insane first place prize. If you haven't seen, guys,
100,000
announced just a couple days ago, first place in our first grand finals that'll happen in October of 2025, $100,000 to the winning team. That is insane.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So make sure you get with your local league rep and get on a team for a chance at that one. Meanwhile, while we're discussing things, Mike Banks Jr. making a good out here.
Yeah, you can see he's getting more and more comfortable as the time goes by. And, not the same player we saw in the first rack.
And we're just about to dip under the 13-minute mark as Mike makes this 8-ball.
I don't think I've heard the beeps for either player. You know that? Have you heard them?
Not at all.
That'd be an interesting stat.
Jordan, let's see if he ramps up the energy on the break. Yeah. Oh, golden break.
Golden. Wow. What a break.
Oh, wow. That's 2 on-the-hill golden breaks.
What a game.
Wow. How crazy is that?
Got a feel for Mike.
Yeah, you absolutely have to feel for Mike Banks Jr. A tough situation. He made some great outs on that last
just
rack.
Watch this replay. How does that go? And this is a lot of reason why they're taking that second ball break,
Yeah, of course.
It's pushing the 8 to the side every time.
All right, guys, and we are back. More Ultimate Pool USA Shootout, and it's one of the most exciting formats. We also have a very exciting player here in Gabe Owen playing Blake Baker. Another exciting thing. I have Mr. Nate Kane in the booth with me. Nate, how you doing?
I'm good, Steven. How about yourself?
Man, I'm wonderful. It's so glad to have you here. If you don't know Mr. Nate Kane, he is from right here, Kansas City, Missouri. And he is our LO, our league operator for this area, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. He's got a ton of info if you want to know how to get your hands on an opportunity at $100,000 first place prize. You're going to want to stick around. But let's watch Gabe work through this first rack here. Beautiful break and really a pretty wide open layout.
Yeah, I don't see many problems here for old Gabe the Babe. That's what everybody likes to call him around here. So
Yeah.
he's from not too far away from Kansas City. We kind of consider him a local here just out of Oklahoma. So
Yeah, and Blake Baker, I don't know a ton about him, but I do know that he plays very well.
yeah, I've kind of heard he's an 8-ball specialist, and so out of Spokane, I believe, right?
Yeah, and really, really good player. I've seen him at a ton of different tournaments, so it's going to be interesting. This is a great matchup of kind of a veteran of pool versus a specialist of pool. It's a very interesting format, and neither player have played this format, so it's going to be. It might be fireworks.
Yeah, I think so. And Gabe's playing really well. He did really well at Midwest 9-ball in one pocket here in Olathe not too long ago, and he's been playing a lot from what I hear.
He's got a tough shot here. He did play it well, and you hear the crowd a little bit getting behind Gabe Owen. Gabe Owen, former U.S. Open champion, former Moscone Cup player. But right now is all that matters here. Ultimate Pool USA Kansas City Open in the shootout and looking to win this first rack against Blake Baker. Just needs a good shot on the 8-ball.
Yeah, it looks like he came up a little short, but he'll be all right. These kind of 50-50 balls. Been noticing playing quite tough, and people are going to fire him in there. If you're not true on these 4-inch pockets, it's rattling out on you.
And the pockets are deceivingly tight. The table playing quick and with new felt definitely helps it a little bit.
Good speed and shot there.
Yeah, solid win there by Gabe Owen to start it off. That's the start that everybody wants. A nice little break and run, and I come in. How does that typically go? I mean, do we get like a score sheet, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit different than some of the leagues we're used to. Everything's actually going to be app-based. We actually have a shot clock and a score clock that you'll get as a tablet from each one of it provided by the league operator there. That's where you keep score. It keeps track of your handicap, how much you've used. It keeps track of the overall team score, and you submit the match to me from there. I don't have to go running down score sheets. You don't have to chase down paperwork. I believe we're going to have a way to pay on the app as well when we start the season. So really, really excited. It's just kind of an easy button for league as far as what we're looking to do, and make sure you don't have to be bothered with all the paperwork. And of course, with the test session 2, we've been getting out pretty early. I know a lot of people, we're here till midnight or 1 on league nights. Our test session's been ending on average around 10:15, 10:30. So a lot of our league players are really, really excited about that as well. So,
well, that's incredible. So I'm going to walk in, I'm going to get my tablet, I'm going to play the matches as the team captain see fit. It's 5 players to a team with a maximum of 8, I think?
Correct, yeah. So it's kind of what we're with most leagues that you're familiar with. 8 players play. It does have its own proprietary handicap system called your UpScore. If you're familiar with Fargo or done anything with Fargo, it's not Fargo-based, but I do say it kind of looks like it because it does have a 3-digit handicap system. That's what your number will read with no actual cap on it. So,
I'm going to get an UpScore, and then my team has to there's a limit, right? Is it 2,400,
yeah,
I think?
2,400 for the 5 players you play in a night. Also to kind of keep teams from stacking up too much, things like that. There is a limit on, you can only play 2 players at a 650 UpScore or above in a night.
Okay.
So it's, it also kind of lends to a little bit more. You probably have 2 higher level players play, but your lower skilled players at the time here, they're really finding the format fun as well, because our format makes it tougher on the higher skilled players to win a match. So it's pretty exciting.
So I've read a little bit about this. It's called the rundown system, right?
Correct.
So basically, a higher skill level player versus a lower skill level player. The lower skill level player is going to start at 0, and the higher skill may start at -2 or even as far as -4.
Yeah.
And the matches, there are no races. It's just 30 minutes, right?
Right. You're guaranteed to play a 30-minute match, and we do stop the clock for things like racking or if you can't shoot because a player next to you. So, matches are taking 40 to 45 minutes on average. And, yeah, the higher skilled player would actually start the match at a negative number. So, looks like Gabe got out there again.
Yeah, Gabe really playing good here as we talk about this, guys. I don't mean to cut off the action, but Gabe Owen putting on almost a clinic here.
Yeah, probably a little late for this year, but...
And we will see Justin Bergman here later tonight against Del Sim, who was just with me on commentary.
Okay.
Del, a great player in his own right. He's got a big hill to climb with Justin Bergman. But let's talk about the hills to climb. We have 1 minute until the 15-second shot clock comes into effect. Blake Baker is down 5-0 in this race to 6. It's not a hill at this point, Nate. It's a mountain.
It's a mountain, especially with alternating braking as good as Gabe's playing right now. It's you don't fancy him that he'll give him another chance here, but who knows? So I've seen crazier things happen with this format, especially with that 15-second shot clock. Down in Louisiana, we kind of saw 2 people to either you would really jar you up or you calmed you down and you just ran out quickly. So.
Yeah, well, we saw a little something like that earlier with Eric Picard. I think he ran a rack in under a minute, but he knew he was under the gun, So very, very interesting format.
And we actually do, because a lot of our league players have been interested in the league, have really started watching a lot of the content, things like that, and I get that question all the time, like, will I ever have to play under a 15-second shot clock? I'm like, no, we kind of leave that to the pros. So,
yeah, I don't want to run. Nobody wants to see me run around the table. So let's keep that away from. No, it is fun. The 6-ball shootout is a lot of fun to watch, and the 15-second shot clock is a lot of fun to watch.
The 6-ball shootout's good cardio if you do it a few times back to back.
Yeah, I don't do much cardio. Probably just lifting my arm to eat my food.
Well, it looks like Blake's gotten his arm loose here and is running out pretty well. A little bit fortunate hitting that 7 that it still went, but
yeah, great shot here.
Yeah, there we go.
Just needs to tap it into the side pocket. He's going to get off the 0. As a good friend of mine would say, the skunk is off.
Skunk is off
if he makes this 8-ball.
Yeah, like I said, we'll start the rack there. Just need to get a few more opportunities and see what happened here.
But when he got serious, he did put up a 17-second time.
17, yeah. Steven was there.
Which is, that's fast. That is very, very fast.
And of course, I believe next we have Dave Matlock coming up, which is one of our very local favorites here, and at one time considered greatest bar box player on earth. So we're excited to see him with kind of high offensive 8-ball on a tight valley here. We like Dave chances, so we'll see how he does. So
yeah, and Dave's a little bit older. Probably doesn't want to get involved in a 6-ball shootout.
Yeah.
So we may just see him run out from everywhere.
Yeah, I was kind of took a phone call with him as I was helping him getting signed up, and I said, yeah, there's a few different rules of the International 8-ball, and we're kind of going over them. And I said, and he quote, "Sounds like if I just break and run out, it's fine." And I said, yeah, Dave, I think it'll be all right if that's what you do. So.
Well, Dave Matlock will be playing actually a replacement, but a very, very strong replacement. Shane McMahon unable to make the shootout.
Tough roll there for Blake. Sorry to interrupt.
But Ryan Robinson from Arkansas, great player, former Texas 8-ball champion, I believe.
Great shot from Blake there, firing that into the side pocket. That's a tough bank.
I'll tell you what, it's kind of crazy. We saw him struggle a little bit in the first few racks, but now that the speed has picked up, he is really, four-time
speed pool champion.
Junior speed pool champion, so it makes sense, but, he's really thriving, and he knows he's under the gun. Just want to get into a situation.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Kind of rushed that one a little bit. And
wide open table for Gabe Owen.
Now we'll probably see Gabe kind of get into a little bit of the working the clock and shooting with the 5 seconds or so left as he's got this big lead. And
I think.
Oh, he just needs this one rack, right? It's only race to 6.
Yeah.
So doesn't have to take his time.
But he does need to take his time. He does need to take those extra moments, because I think that's what cost Blake, is he called the extension and he just got down quick because he knew he was under the gun. Gabe is not under the gun, just needs to take his time, be relaxed.
Looking good to get out here, hopefully.
That was really good.
Yeah, he really held that cue ball nice off that 6.
Well, and the first, the inaugural event here in the United States in Shreveport, Louisiana, we saw fast-paced action, but I feel like the action here in Kansas City is ramped up a little bit. Seems to be a quicker pace all across the board.
Yeah.
And
I think everybody's kind of got a good feel for it in Louisiana. They're excited to see him in a second. Yeah, great. Good.
Gabe
match.
Owen with a huge win against Blake Baker.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here with the Kansas City Shootout. David Matlock taking on Ryan Robinson, Steve Jameson, and Nate Kane in the booth with you for something of a local derby, or at least as local as we're going to get in a place as big as the US. Dave Matlock from this neck of the woods.
Yes, sir. He's one of our locals here. He's on just the other side of the state there in Kansas, but still the Kansas City metro area. He house pro for a very, very long time in a very famous pool hall in America, Shooters Olathe. So he's very well known. And, of course, like I said, at one time, best bar box player in the world. So we were excited to get him here for this shootout. He a little grayer than most remember, but he still plays very well and very much. So we're glad to have him shooting.
Yeah, and that's for Ryan Robinson, an Arkansas boy. Not too far away.
Yeah, and Ryan usually makes it up to a lot of our tournaments up here, so I'm sure this isn't the first time these two have played. So, great shot there to get that 8 out.
Yeah, this is some start. You might have mentioned his silver hair, but he's got some pace around the table as David hit.
He's been taking this event very serious. I've spoken to him and his wife several times just about the rules, so he's very comfortable with it. He was up here quite a while practicing yesterday, getting the feel for the area. So looks like he's felt really great on his last few here to run this one out. So
this has been an impressive start. But a wide there.
Commentator's curse again. We got him. So
yeah, I wasn't expecting him, mind, just with the way that he came through that visit so smoothly, looked in complete control. But it just goes to show these these pots are difficult when they are tied to the rail. No guarantees.
He felt a little bit more shallow on that 14 than he wanted to, so he had to kind of juice it up, put a little bit more English than he wanted to with these 4-inch pockets, and kind of threw the ball off there.
So a dream scenario really for Ryan Robinson here, who gets a wide open layout to look at in his first visit to the table. It was his break as well, so it will help him feeling on serve if he can knock these solids in, followed by the 8-ball, and they're all there. No real work to do. That was really the only shot that could go wrong, and I mean, it tried to go wrong, but it just shows how good the layout was that he's still A-okay here.
Got an okay rub off the 5 there, and we're really we're 2 for 2 here.
Well, maybe some early nerves out there, perhaps. It's interesting, actually. Spoke to all of our players so far in the shootout, and interesting in particular hearing from someone like Jordan Shepherd, who we saw earlier, who is synonymous with this format across the pond, and really interesting to hear from him, to hear that he was really feeling edgy in the first couple of frames, and we saw that with Tyler Steyer in the first match of the day. We've seen it a few times. No one had to do anything too crazy to all of a sudden,
it's
adapt.
What we've kind of found with the 30-second shot clock as we're kind of implementing this in the leagues here in the area, it's actually our lower skilled players are benefiting more from it than our higher skilled, just because they're just kind of making a decision and shooting and not taking time to second guess themselves, and they're playing at a little higher level than they do in kind of other formats. And
I think as well for players, especially as we see Dave there take on that 6-ball, and he's going to give Ryan a chance to square things up here.
There we go.
But I think for league players in particular, nice to sort of know where you stand a little bit.
Yeah.
When you've got a shot clock and a match clock, all of a sudden, if the table becomes bogged down and players start taking 2 minutes on every shot, and you can be sat there a little while until you get your go, but that's not going to happen anymore.
No, it's like I said, it's been quite exciting and refreshing to see playing league with the shot clock, and of course it just gives a little bit more of a professional tournament feel for our league players. They've never played on that type of format, and they get to experience that a little bit and call extensions and things of that nature, and they're really enjoying it.
Yeah, only gonna just improve things for it's a big time vision, I know, with Ultimate Pool USA. It's not just a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year plan. It's a big operation to give back as much as they can to the players. We've seen announced earlier on today the grand finals of the Ultimate Pool Leagues in 2025, with hopefully a $100,000 first prize for the team, cash prize, which is an incredible incentive. And obviously, that's not for everybody, because some people just play leagues to have fun, and that's great. But for those who want to, take it serious and try and take it all the way to the top with their team, it's a huge incentive.
Absolutely, it's life-changing money. It can be, and and it's also I've gotten a lot of questions from our league players. They're like, okay, 100K for first place is cool, but what about if I just get the money? And it's going to be exponentially higher down the line. So even if you get in the money, you're still looking at a very significant prize. So where in other times we've kind of spent a lot of times at a national tournament, and it's not something that we walk away with very profitable, and we don't necessarily do this to make money, but it's good to get paid well when you do well. So.
Of course. Ryan Robinson here with an 8-ball to square things, and we are
very nice out. Yeah, he's getting much more comfortable now, it looks like to me. Break and run and dry break. You might have a shot at this here.
Yeah, he's going to have a shot.
Oh, it's a very good break to get a quick rack.
Yeah, these are nice. These are very, very nice indeed. Especially that you could see the 9 first up. So these stripes fall. Ryan Robinson is going to have himself a very nice chance of leveling it up. He will need a little bit of help from the Dave Matlock break. And this one is not over, folks. That's okay. That's okay. 15 now goes to the top right, which helps. A little nudge. And he'll play that next. Yeah, lovely shape. Well, we've got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, he's stolen a quick one. Oh, it's not all over here. Just got to watch the all ball foul. Oh, there we go. Good shot. Nice out. Jacked up over that 4 ball. That's not fun. Hey, he did well to get a shot at it there. Oh, he fouled.
Oh, disaster strikes for Ryan Robinson. Referee Scott Price calls the foul. I'd love to see that one again. I'm not too sure what the foul was called for, whether it was a nudge of the cue on one of the solids.
Dave sees picked up on the format there. He's watching that shot clock and seeing where he's at.
Yeah, well, he just has to wait his time here. This match is over. Oh, denied a potential buzzer beater. Once again by an unfortunate foul. Happened to Shane Thompson earlier on.
Yes, it did, yeah.
In the afternoon. But you got to say, super impressive performance from Dave Matlock. I mean, you know him very well, Nate. This has been great to see.
Yeah.
An old head's adapting to some fancy new rules. It turns out you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Yes, sir. Everybody's pulling for him. Happy to see Dave win that one.
And any search engine and type in craziest pull shots ever. There's probably a 1-in-1 chance that in that first page you're going to find a clip of Chris Melling doing something crazy. We have right here, this is a very interesting situation here. I just got to stop my story because Chase scratched on his break, gave up ball in hand. Chris was able to take the rack. Chris scratched on his break, and now Chase here with an opportunity to take this rack. Everything is pretty much wide open. The only ball in trouble is the 15. This is I don't think we have time for stories because this match has been so fast already.
Yeah.
We might miss the action.
Well, I agreed. He's taking his time on this one. I don't think he actually needs to worry too much about this 15 in terms of moving it. Because, well, he can't land on it now. If he'd have left it alone, I think it might have gone to one of the side pockets. I could be wrong here. I'm just having a little look at one of our cameras. I think it was tight, to be fair. So I think he probably did need to move into it. Where's this cue ball ending up?
Well, I definitely think the 15 could have been cut to the bottom left. But he's at the table and I'm not. So he has a much better view. And if he felt the need to break it out, it must have meant that there was some trouble in paradise.
Well, these 3 balls are difficult now. This is high tariff stuff for Chase Stumford.
And Chase, rather young, I believe he's around the 22-year-old mark, maybe 23 now.
Hold on to your hats. This one's getting sent around, I think. What a shot this is.
He doesn't really get rewarded for it.
He's found a beautiful line there. He is unlucky. Fancy him to give this a bit of a ride, though. He'll kick into this with a fair bit of pace, I'd imagine, and you never know.
Well, if Chris is the magician, we might have to find a new nickname for our TikTok table star Aiden, because this gentleman right here might become the apprentice when it comes to magic if he makes this ball.
I tell you what, that wasn't far away. He actually he played the kick off the 8 ball.
Tough action here, though. This is not a gimme rack now. There's some work to be done. The 3 ball is quite tight, I believe. I'm not positive that it can be cut into the corner. And it can be made in the side, I believe. Look at the touch on that shot, and that's what he's playing for, the 3 in the right-hand side pocket.
That's a very classical cue action from Mr. Melling.
And Chris is just so smooth.
Yeah, well, it's just a direct contrast, isn't it? We saw earlier on a couple of what I always think of quite American cue actions with the loop and a lot of pace in the back arm. Chris's is very, very classical and very very technical.
However, when he gets into a little bit of a rhythm, you might even see him one-stroke this ball just like that. When he gets into a rhythm, all his form goes away, and he goes by feel.
And you get the sense that he's only warming up. Oh, that's a brilliant break. You can't believe that's dry. You just can't. No one seems to have found the formula after our first game of the day. We saw, didn't we, Tyler Steyer and Eric Pickard, and they were both breaking beautifully. I think every single break was successful. And then since then, it feels like every player's sort of struggled a little bit at finding the consistency.
Yeah, no dry breaks in the first match. And then since then, almost nothing but dry breaks.
Yeah.
It's been mostly 60-40 since then. Very interesting. But, you know, there are more people coming in. You know, we started early. We started 11 a.m. Most pool players thought a.m. was the other side of the radio. So we started early. More people are coming in. The room's going to warm up a little bit. Maybe the table's going to change throughout the day, the event. So it may just be a situation there where the table's just getting broke in a little bit, you know?
Love the way that Chase has taken these on. Really, really nice route he's picked.
You know what the best thing about younger players, even junior players, is they're fearless. They are absolutely fearless when it comes to playing anybody. They don't care if your name is Chris Melling or Stephen Wyatt. They will play as good as they possibly can just to win, and I love that.
Well, he talked about the need to be fearless earlier on, and that's exactly what Chase has been, but he's played a slack one there. That was a poor shot. And now he has to pay the price. He's got a 4-ball with no natural pocket. What can he engineer?
The thinnest of thinnest cuts could send it to the bottom left, but he's not taking that on. Oh, look at the cross.
That'll do.
As a fan, I'm over here excited because that was a great shot, and I really think that Chase played that very, very well.
That's beautiful work from Chase Stunfold. Really, really tidy shot. 8 balls, no guarantee here. I'll show you that double again in just a moment. Very, very good indeed. Good 8 ball.
I think it'll definitely promote falling into the pocket, even if he comes up just a little shy on center pocket. Let's see. Oh, no,
Yeah, that was
can't be
missable.
that shy.
Yeah, that was tight.
And Chase here with a huge opportunity. If he's able to get this rack back, we're looking at the 10-minute marker right around the corner, being down 4-3. Very, very manageable.
This is a big shot here for Chase. We see this miss again from Chris Melling from a slightly better angle. You can see there isn't a lot of room, but there was a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it was possible to slide past that 9-ball, but again, just a tough situation. And Chase suddenly speeding up here.
Yeah, probably the right thing to do, but also don't get careless. There's loads and loads of time in this match yet. Don't force yourself into making a silly mistake.
Everything's just tic-tac-toe. Very well played by Chase there. That's what happens. I make mistakes. I don't give it the full respect. Now it is very good that 8-ball did not drop, because we could have been looking at a golden duck there.
And that would have been game over.
We would have seen the opposite of what's been happening. That was very, very fortunate that the 8-ball did not drop.
You could still say it's pretty unfortunate the cue ball did, mind.
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal.
And Chris Melling here with the chance. You'd imagine these should be pretty much gone. It's not quite been a vintage Chris Melling performance, but he's finding a way here, and that is perfect.
And Chris really just speeding up just a little bit. He knows the finish line is there.
And in comes the concession from Chase Stumfold. Chris Melling gets the job done. Great to see Cleve back. He absolutely loves coming over here to the US and testing his game against some of the best, and that's exactly what he's about to do. Steve Jameson still here with you on comms, and joins by Dustin Cook. Dustin, a very good afternoon to you here as we've got Cleve at the table. Doing well, enjoying the Kansas City hospitality so far?
Very much so. That definitely nice atmosphere, nice people, nice pool room. You know, good to see all the fresh faces. You know, even more of the European stock has come over, and got to meet a few more of the players last night with Jordan Shepard and you know, his friend that came with him, Ricky. So definitely nice to get to meet more players.
Yeah, it's been a great experience in the last couple of days here in Kansas City. Quite a few players have come over here a little bit early, whether they be from these shores or from further afield, and it's made for a nice atmosphere here in Side Pockets as we see Cleve here, Bloodfire as his nickname goes, and he's done a good job here of getting his hard work done early, and all of a sudden solids look pretty good.
Pretty good. That a very well break off and a good opening shot to get started on the pattern.
I'm going to go coast to coast here. It's Cleve Thompson, and he left a little bit more angle on this one, I suspect.
And a great shot.
Yeah, really cued that one nicely. He's got a lot of he's got very easy cue power, hasn't he, Cleve? He's a big guy with a long stroke, and he's got a lot of really easy power, but he used all of it there.
And he's got good rhythm too.
Yeah.
He delivers the cue, good timing.
Yeah, another super visit to the table from Cleve Thompson. When he ran into Tyler Steyer in the shootout in Louisiana, it was, on paper at least,
he's a bundle of energy.
So Cleve's break allows young Sam Henderson in again. Yeah, and a bit of a head scratcher. I can see that.
Not really an easy starting shot on either pattern.
Yeah, no surprise to hear him call his extension. Oh, that's come out nicely. Played that at a really nice pace, judged it well. You know, we often see with younger players, and we saw it a little bit with Chase earlier, that, you know, they get a real vibrancy about them. They buzz around the table, but with that, they can be a little bit erratic sometimes.
Definitely. But Chase's miss to tie the game up with Chris breaking, you know, that's just rushing your shot. And, you know, American pool, we call it in punch when you're feeling good and, you know, you're flowing, but you know, the younger guys, you know, they struggle with it, with taking the time, because they just want to jump up there and get the clearance.
The point I was going to make, though, is how Sam almost seems to buck that trend.
Yep.
He plays like a much older person than he is.
Much wiser between the ears
Yeah.
than someone his age would, tend to be.
Yeah,
And another strong clearance by the young man.
absolutely. He's exactly what you don't see loads and loads of from younger players, which is he's a very solid player. I mean that in a very positive way.
Definitely no body movement. He stays down. He cues.
You don't get the sense that you're going to get a daft mistake from him anytime soon.
If he can get these down in time and... Oh, no.
Yeah, that's caused just by rushing. It's the only downside when you try and play a little too quick. Can introduce a little bit of carelessness. Sam Henderson still will have to play a shot here. It's not going to be an easy one for this 8-ball. Well, he's cued that so well, he's ended up fully snookered.
Hit it too well.
He got so much action on that, didn't he? I don't think you can believe how far he's come.
And in habit, he's nominated his pocket.
So Cleve is going to get his step on. I think it probably is just about over because it is the Sam Henderson break next, but we are going to see Cleve Thompson in speed pull mode. He's having some fun out there, but that will ice the game, and Sam Henderson is going to claim a first Ultimate Pool USA Shootout victory and a very, very impressive performance from the young man as he dusts off Cleve Thompson in the last 16.
See how Justin appropriates the break here. Look at the 8-ball moving at that side ball break, but no ball down. This could be disastrous because the solids look incredible. The 8-ball, a little bit of a problem. But I think he might be able to work that out along the way.
Yeah, the 8-ball's definitely an issue. Almost certainly can't get to the potting angle of it as it is now. Oh, he was trying to play a little. Yeah, he was trying to play a little cheeky there, cheat the pocket, but
yeah, and not taking a whole lot of time either. I think the time is being a little rough to him. 30 seconds is a long time. It really is.
Yeah, just because you're in a shootout format doesn't mean you have to start sprinting around the table from the get-go.
And Justin here, ready to go to work. He does have his work cut out for him because the stripes are not the easiest of layouts. This will be a good rack to figure out where Justin's game really is at this moment.
Agreed.
Left himself a little tough there. 14 ball is going to be... He's tree-topped on this, so he's got to be very careful. It is all ball fouls. I don't know if that ball's touching. Oh, what a shot. Having that super tough angle is difficult. But he made it look very easy, even being jacked up over the ball. And from here, the 15 down in the bottom corner, and he's got just enough angle to give it a nice little punch to follow down if that's how he chooses to play it.
might even be able to just smooth this in. It looks like he's queuing up draw on the ball. No, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Maybe a little high on the 1. Not going to be an issue here. Lays up real well on the 8 ball. And you may see some of the players who have not played in this format before calling or pointing at the pocket where they intend to make the 8 ball. Just a reminder, the 8 ball does not have to be called. Any ball in any pocket counts.
He needs to find his break.
He swapped up from the, he did do the side ball break. He swapped to the straight forward, but still no ball down. And this could be disastrous for him. Really needs an opportunity here, and I'm not sure he's going to get one against Justin. If the 14 ball can get cleared right here, it's a tough opener, and it goes against everything I know about 8 ball. But if he were able to shoot that 15-11 combo to claim the stripes, it would give him a natural angle for the 14, and that's exactly what he just did. Always been told, never, ever, ever shoot a super tough shot on your opener unless you have to. Because you don't want to miss getting the suit that you want because you attempted a crazy shot. But in this case, it's the only option he had.
I think there's definitely, there's a couple of ways to look at that philosophy. And I think for me, what I've heard from a few different players, and you know, it's horses for courses. Every player has to think about the game differently. That's part of it. But I know certain players' mantra is the right shot will always be the right shot. If it's tough to play, do you back yourself to make it? If the answer's yes, then you just got to play the tough shot.
Correct. You are 100% correct. Justin here. Does he realize he can't? Oh, okay, he's just swerving the ball. So he tried to swerve, wasn't able to make it. Wendell's got an opportunity here. Pretty straightforward out here. He just needs to be able to play that 3 ball. Yeah, this is good. Needs to play it smooth. Good shot.
This will be a nerve settler for Delsim.
Well, the skunk is off and getting the game on Justin Bergman.
Justin Bergman trying to continue the pace, a man in a hurry.
And the crowd here is just piling in droves. So many people come here to watch this Kansas City Shootout. Quite honestly, I love the crowd. I love the feel. It just promotes the excitement of the event.
Yeah, in a big way. So, solid's the choice for Dell, and I would suggest that is a solid choice in more ways than one. The key here is just landing on the 4 ball. It's a little bit of an awkward ball, but you can play it. You could probably play it now if you wanted to, but he's going to get rid of the 3 first.
Yeah, I think he just wants to land just up close to that top rail or pull back one of the 2, and there it is. Able to pull back. I still don't know if that's the angle that he wanted.
Yeah, it feels to me a little bit like a bit of a medicine-taking shot here. Just get it off the table. And he can probably work from a few different spots if he wants.
If he can get past the 9, I actually like rolling forward a little bit on this to shoot the 2 ball. I feel like that's the easiest way to get there, but I just don't know if he has the angle. Well, he's loading up. Oh yeah, see that right there. I really like that shot.
Yeah, lovely shot. Yeah, excellent choice, and you got to say even better execution. Really, that was very, very nice.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have pulled it off like that. He made it look easy in a sense. And this here, 7 ball, 5 ball. The 8 does not go in the bottom right, but it has a pretty big pocket to the bottom left. Oh, he fixed that issue.
He did. He spotted that potential problem and dealt with it nicely.
So much for the commentator calling it. He says, I'm going to make it go in that pocket.
Oh, he's played better shots, though, than that.
The good news here is the angle puts him in a good spot to just fire this ball. No risk of scratching. Break by Justin. Ball down. Watch out, cue ball.
Oh, he'll take that. He will take that.
Solids look good, all except the 6 ball, but Justin, as we've seen, is a great manipulator of that cue ball. Can make it do whatever he wants. So I think we'll see him just end up moving the 6 ball at some point, or moving the 14 that impedes that pocket. And there it is right there. He moved the 6 and the 14. Unfortunately, did he leave himself a shot? He's going to go for the safe. Play right behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, I don't mind that. And Dell's in big trouble.
Yeah, I think Dell minds it. He's not going to be happy with the look that he has at the table. On the other side, one good kick with a little luck. And you heard Dell say they're straight in the drink. Right in the corner pocket is where that cue ball went. Just needed a hit. Calls his extension, does Bergman. And just a few balls made, and we will have our final 8 set in stone. We've seen some great matches already. Dave Matlock and Ryan Robinson was an absolute thriller for the crowd. David Matlock pulled that one out. Tyler and Eric Picard opened us up on the day, both a little shaky, but Tyler was able to bring it in. Played very, very well. Of course, Chase Stumfall just one mistake away from taking down the magician Chris Melling, or having an opportunity to do so at least.
And then to round it out, we've seen the return, the successful return to the big stage of Justin Bergman. Great to see him back and playing so beautifully, like he's never been away.
Blue Springs side pockets. This is the match that I personally have been waiting for. I do have a very special guest here with me. It is Mr. Del Sim once again. Del, how are you doing?
Yep, sort of recuperating, back to where I think I'm best. Back in the booth, sat down with you.
Well, you had a very tough match in Justin Bergman, and he's going to move on against you, but he's going to run into a very tough match in Sam Henderson. So that's going to be our last quarterfinal of the night. That's going to be a fun one, but we have another quarterfinal here that is an absolute banger. Tyler Steyer and Ricky Evans. Ricky really coming out extremely hot against the safecracker Shane Thompson and sending Shane to an early demise. But once again, got his hands full with Tyler Steyer. Tyler's on the top of everything you see for a reason, and it's because he plays so very, very well. And I'm anxious to see how this match goes overall.
Well, you know what they say, winning begets winning, and he's in great form recently. I feel like he's really found his rhythm, found his role, and this will be no different. He'll want to snap this one off just as much as anyone else.
Absolutely. And for the same for Ricky Evans. Ricky Evans not been in the spotlight a whole lot. He kind of stays where he is, but right here an opportunity to jump out into the limelight.
Yeah, he's really focused in his chair there, and I was very impressed with his last match. I saw you talking there out front, and big credit to what he's done, and plaudits for coming out firing the way that he did. Deserves everything he's got from here.
Well, 100%. When he passed by me a little while ago, I said, I just want you to know I enjoyed your match. I didn't really know your name before this, but I do now.
Yeah,
and that's just a compliment to him as a player, because I wasn't familiar with him, and I very much so am now because he really did put on a clinic.
Yeah, much tougher opponent now, I think, in Tyler Steyer. Not to say Shane wasn't, but I think on the American pool table, getting the scalp in Tyler will be a huge achievement. And you see, you're just ripping the ball there. That's a very interesting shot indeed. I mean, doesn't mind putting a bit of gear on the ball.
And I think he knows, because this table is new cloth and he can rip it, this is probably the conditions that Tyler is going to just flourish in overall. So
be interesting to see if he can slow roll this one. I think the 14 does go in the opposite corner. Or does it? Or does he have to come back across?
I think he's going to go across and shoot it up table. I can't really tell.
Well, he seems to think it goes, and that was my concern there by slow rolling it. He still maintained the angle, that's fine.
I thought maybe if he was going to shoot that shot, he would just kind of stun it over to the rail, keep it straight.
Yeah, the good thing here is that the 8 ball goes by the 2, so he can just stun above it. It doesn't need to be too crazy.
I'd be worried with the angle he's going to run into the 8, so he's going to have to run into it soft, I think.
I think he can draw out of it. I think he can just draw above it, hopefully. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's able to draw
just
above
like
it.
you called it. Good call.
He's gone a bit further than he would have wanted, though, I think.
Yeah, shouldn't be an issue. It goes by the 2 ball. The pockets are playing big because the cloth is very, very slick.
Yeah, that camera angle into the corner there shows that it's a full pocket, but it's a little bit tight. See, it was a little bit too tight. That's interesting.
Oh,
and
no.
That doesn't count, right? Does it count?
No, that is a loss. 8 ball in the wrong pocket. So a gift to Ricky Evans here.
Wow.
Not sure what happened there with Tyler, but he absolutely blistered that ball.
So I'm surprised he's not figured it.
Yeah, and, he broke well in Louisiana. Maybe the different table is messing with him a little bit. Maybe the tighter pockets is the slick felt. I mean, we had slick felt then as well, so I'm not really sure what the cause is, but he's definitely having trouble with the break, which is something he generally excels at.
Yeah, not being able to practice, but you figure he should have found his spot by now. Having been out there, it took me 2 or 3 moves. I had to move the ball 2 or 3 times till I was comfortable with the break. And then once you find your spot, you really should drill into it.
And we did talk about that a little bit against you. Bergman moved his break several times. He started with the cut, moved to the head-on, and didn't have great success a couple of times as far as the spread goes. But once he found making the ball, he kind of stuck with it.
It matters.
So that's what you definitely need to have to do. Just find where you're making a ball and stick with it.
Yeah, I fully agree on that one. A really good point to make. And I thought that 14 had gone a little bit funny. But it still goes. It still goes if he finishes the right side of it.
I do think you want to make that 14 before you're on the 8 ball.
Yeah, I agree.
Very important to get that ball down because you don't want to have to try and throw that with inside to hold it because it definitely promotes missing the ball.
Yeah, I wonder if he can play a little stop shot here. Doesn't want to move the cue ball too far forward.
I think he could probably just roll up. Just roll up on the shot on the side. He doesn't have to do too much.
Yeah, where the 11 is.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, that's as good as he can get right there. And now he has the ability to play this ball with a decent speed, a little bit of inside, and he'll have the 15 straight in.
Yeah, you guys love your inside. I would just play this plain ball, honestly.
Well, the only reason I like the inside, and I see now that he didn't need it, is I just don't want to risk hitting that one ball.
Yeah.
You hit the one ball, it's a disaster.
Yeah, I agree on that one.
But again, he's playing great. I'm not. He didn't need the inside, so
super solid. Look how solid he is. I mean, he's just running.
He's also very in tune with the rules. He's watching for the all-ball foul. He doesn't want his shirt to touch the ball.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Ricky Evans, and we're going to if he continues like this. 3-1 up on Tyler Steyer.
Looks like he's going to the second ball. He hasn't been making much, so he is changing it up. Oh, wow. He got a real cut on that as well. And again, not a good contact, which caused the cue ball to fly around the angle there.
You notice the 8 ball there, using that cut break, generally the 8 ball comes to the one side or the other. That 8 ball went straight up the middle, which tells me he didn't get a good contact with where he wanted to hit the ball.
Yeah, you saw there on the replay, that was a tough one. Ricky, great opportunity here. Just got one bad ball that he's going to have to manage in the 15, and he went for it. He went for it straight out of the gate. And he's a little bit riled, mate. I mean, I know he said that, but he's a little bit riled.
You know what just for right there, and I understand it's the first shot of the rack, but in the very first match we saw with Ricky, he was very, very aware of the time. Mm-hmm. And if he heard the beeps, he called his extension. Mm-hmm. And one of the only ones that we saw call the extension like that, in the first round. And he let the beeps run down almost to a time foul right there.
Ooh, sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, wow.
What a play that is, and he's left these wide open.
And now, Dell, I think we're getting to the point of the day where there's enough people in here. I think the table is starting to play a little tougher.
A bit sticky, right?
Yeah, a little stickier, a little hotter in the room. I think we're going to start seeing a few more mistakes.
And that's not the best opening shot that he could have played. The reason being is he would have loved to swing around for that 6 early on.
Yeah, we're now underneath the 10-minute mark. So just a 15-second shot clock with a 15-second extension for both players. And this is close. This has the potential. I don't want to talk about it too soon, but this has the potential to be very, very close come the end of the match. And again, huge miss, and Ricky showing frustration there. Yeah. Very unhappy with that shot.
And in this format, you don't get a timeout, so there's no way that he can reset, and you can see that he's upset with himself. I wonder if he was just starting to creep into his mind about, being 3 and 4 ahead.
Rather than 3 to 2, it could very well be, 4 to 1.
And I say that because, it really is one match, one game at a time in that regard. And if you get too far ahead of yourself, you can start, these little mistakes do creep in. And Tyler's now perfect. And he's going to tie this match up.
So something...
Oh my, they're not that big. Oh, maybe they are. Perfect speed.
That was touchy.
He didn't need to play it that soft either. That's the weird thing.
Something that I learned a long time ago is that my reaction as a player can give my opponent free confidence.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe Ricky's being a little upset, showing his frustration. Maybe that's the confidence that Tyler needed to really kick it into gear. Tyler Steyer doesn't really need confidence. But when you're in a situation like this, every little bit helps.
Yeah, he's also, I'm not used to seeing him hit the ball so softly all the time.
I think Tyler takes more of almost like a UK approach on 8-ball on the small table. It's more of a tap, tap, tap. You don't want to move the cue ball very much. There's a lot of traffic in 8-ball on a small table. And, realistically, anybody can win or anybody can get a break and run in a situation like this. So it's interesting to see how this all plays out. This was one of the matches that I was very excited about. And Tyler here looking to tie it up 3-3, just needs to make the 8-ball. Anywhere is good.
He's not showing it, but that was not the best shot. He really wanted to be straight on this 8, and he's up against the clock as well. 3, 2, 1. Great shot. And McCray left.
Yeah, that was a really good run out there by Tyler. Yeah. If people didn't know his name before, now they do.
Yeah, definitely. Again, needs a little bit of luck on the break, and Tyler's going to jump out of his chair. And Tyler's capable of running these in next to no time.
I agree with you, but it's super testy. He can't make a mistake. He's got to go quickly. He's already made 2 balls. We're under a minute. 14 ball is on. This is wow.
That's tough. He's gonna have to drop it. He's gonna have to drop it in.
Made the ball. Does the 9-ball have a pocket? It does.
It does. Here we go.
He's taking the time on this shot, which is good.
Here we go. This is what makes this format so exciting to watch.
This is a huge shot right here.
Wow, he's on the rail as well. This is
huge shot. 30 seconds left.
He's given himself a chance. That's all he needed to do. Give himself a chance. Now put everything into the break, because you're not going to get a chance to clear
8-ball. That's what you need to do here. You make the 8-ball and then make it again on the break. We're going to be around 15 seconds. I'll get an actual time.
Okay.
We are at 11 seconds on the clock. There is no time for a run out here. So remember, guys, when I told you to scoot up to the edge of your seat, now it's time to just stand up and stare at the screen, because you're going to want all eyes on the 8-ball. A golden break sends this to a 6-ball shootout, barring a Ricky Evans return golden.
Yeah, there's been some people talking that they don't like the 8-ball off the break, but this is why it's important to have it, and this is why it makes it important, exciting to watch.
Particularly for just this event. So the shootout is the only time the 8-ball counts on the break. If we get into the open or the ladies or the juniors, the 8-ball is not running on the break. However, you see Tyler there getting ready to pump his arm because he knows he's about to put some power into this break.
Just have to keep the cue ball on the table.
So Tyler here, he knows what's on the line, and he knows what he has to do, and he knows it's a tall order. It's 5-4. Tyler breaking, looking for the 8-ball to go flying.
Nope, it didn't get touched at all. And that's not going anywhere.
Did not go. Our time is up. He's going to concede. What a match there. Tyler Steyer and Ricky Evans. Ricky playing absolutely great, and Tyler attempting the comeback. Wow, a huge match with ups and downs.
That 8-ball was a little wide. He was fortunate, I think, to see that float in. I don't think they'll be going in on Sunday, put it that way.
Yeah, and these guys, I'm sure, are just happy that they're getting the table while it is playing a little bit bigger for this shootout, because we are finishing this event tonight. The shootout will be crowning a champion at the end of the night. Of course, after that, 3 more championships to be crowned on Sunday. There's so much action going on in this room. It's going to be very tough to follow everything, but we're going to do our best to do it. Of course, ladies and juniors have their own bracket. I'm very excited about the juniors event. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, but currently Jordan Shepard, Gabe Owens' second round of the Kansas City Shootout. And Gabe, unfortunately, having to look on from his chair, probably feeling a little let down by his 9-ball helping Jordan win that rack.
That's a well-judged cannon, and all of a sudden, this finish opens right up for the Welsh Wizard. Talked about Jordan in the build-up to the show tonight. He is a mercurial talent. Shootout really suits his kind of game. He is quick, he's flowy, he's inspirational. And wherever he goes, he's a real fan favorite to watch. Not the biggest name in the USA. This is his first trip in a pool sense here, and he's looking to make the most of it and make some new friends and no doubt some new fans as well.
Well, and as a whole, Jordan is one of the players who's really came over here and said, I want the full experience.
Yes.
Went out to the baseball game with us for the Kansas City Royals the other day. He's going to go up 5-0 if this ball falls in the bottom left.
Well, he just landed a little short on that 8-ball. And for me, he just rushed it a fraction.
He came in just a little quick. I agree with you there for sure. Now Gabe here with a good opportunity.
Jordan just having a little bit of interaction with our camera there. That's a lovely shot from Gabe. I wonder if that wasn't set as a combo then. In fact, he's played into it.
He's really made it tough on himself. Yeah, he shot that ball a little quick. You saw there in the replay. He wasn't exactly set perfect on that shot when he fired it. Maybe just gave it not enough respect to shoot the ball and take your time. But these pockets are definitely not playing like a valley anymore. Solid run out here by Gabe. Just needs to keep it smooth. He's got the time. I think the big kicker here is having Jordan Shepard make 3 more mistakes. And that's only the beginning. Gabe's got to play almost perfect. On this rack, he's done it well.
Yeah, he needed this, Gabe Owen. Needed an opportunity to get back into the match, and that's what's just happened. He goes onto the scoreboard. There's still a gap, though. It's still a substantial gap at 4-1. Oh, and that may be the final act of Gabe Owen's shootout assault.
Yeah, the proverbial nail going into the coffin. He's got a little bit of an insurance policy with the 13. That ball can go smoothly.
He's played better shots as Jordan.
You know, I expected him to shoot that like that, but I expected him to roll up just a little bit. I didn't expect the stop.
Yeah, he's recovered well, though. He's back in prime position. This is dot to dot from here.
It's what we call a tic-tac-toe rack. Don't have to do anything special. Just make the ball. The Welsh Wizard It's back on. And we're looking at a clash of the Titans.
Aren't we just? A brilliant semi-final is set between a red-hot Ricky Evans and a slowly coming to the boil Welsh wizard. We have not seen the best of Jordan Shepherd yet. And we are underway once again. And what a fantastic match we've got here. This side of the draw is very, very lively in the Kansas City Shootout. Quarterfinal number 3, David Matlock against Chris Melling. In many different respects, 2 of the greats of this game. Oh, and what a start that is. Well, that's some billiard shot that David Matlock has just pulled off. But he's got a big background in the American side of the game as well.
Yes,
he's won plenty of big titles, the Mosconi Cup MVP for Team Europe as well. But he's putting his bottom lip out because he's been denied a break.
Yeah, yet another dry break today. Yeah, I think the good run he had in the Worlds there kind of got him back into the Mosconi Cup rankings. So I think he's, if I remember right, he told me he's heading straight to Fulda from here to go to the European Championship and see if he can get some more Mosconi points.
Oh, that's great to hear. I mean, he's an incredible guy because his schedule is absolutely bonkers, but it's because he plays in absolutely everything. He plays American pool with whether it be 8-ball or 9-ball. He plays English pool. He plays Chinese as well. He's just got all the tools. He's got a very busy calendar, as our Chris. But David, on the other hand, is I feel calling him a one-trick pony does him an enormous amount of injustice, but you know what I mean. He's a specialist,
right?
And his specialist is this game right here, the 7-foot bar box. It's 8-ball. This is where he made his name.
He definitely made his name on this one, but he's definitely far from a one-trick pony. He's a very accomplished 3-cushion player. He's definitely one of the very few 3-cushion tables we have in the area is at his homeroom in Shooters Olathe, and so he plays that quite often. And I don't think many people want much of him in bank pool either. So he definitely can play those games very well.
He's just a master, isn't he? He's got so much experience, and you can tell it just transfers over. He knows what we heard on the interview there with Jordan Shepherd at the end of his last match is he feels a little uncomfy playing these matches because he doesn't 100% know exactly what's going to happen when he strikes the cue ball and where that's going to end up. Not the case here, is it, for David? He knows exactly where it's going.
Yes, and he's very, very comfortable on it. Specifically Valley bar box, but any bar box you can put him on, and he's tough action and tough to beat for sure.
He's got a shot to play here, though.
Yes, he does. The 8-ball's not open very much there.
Oh, how about this?
Got under it, gave himself a shot.
What a brilliant shot from David Matlock. We're in for a game here, folks. I had a feeling this quarter would deliver. And so far we've seen some brilliant stuff. And just as I say that, I'm really surprised David's missed that one, I must say.
Yeah, he played that out so beautiful to get on that 8 in the first place. So.
And we're about to see Chris in speed pool mode. He won't hang about here.
Yeah, I don't even think he chalks on these outs, or well, no, now he does. But
he may chalk. He won't often feather.
Right.
Yeah, one of the great, maybe even the great field player, is Chris Melling. So gifted at what he does.
Yeah, often you'll see an American pool sometimes if you miss something like that and leave it where there's nothing in the way, your opponent may just swipe the rack and move on to the next one, but I know we can't in this timing format. But
and that is how you run a rack.
Yeah, that is exactly how to run a rack very quickly.
Do you see what I mean, though? Like,
yes.
That's not that easy to do at that speed. Not everyone can do that. Well, this is interesting to see from Dave getting the cut break in action. He's going to try and make the 8-ball here, I think, is the thinking. Cut break often gets the 8-ball moving more than from the front ball. 5-1 down. He needs something to fall his way. And soon.
Yeah, kind of a tough starting shot with where the cue ball ended up, but if he hits rolling on it, it's open table from there.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
That was a good shot. And the 15 passes the 7, it looks like, so it does help with the simplicity of the out there.
Yeah, lovely finish this so far from David Matlock. But we've seen this a few times. He's still got to dot the I's and cross the T's and just make sure.
There we go.
Well, they'll do it.
Feel confident with this one. Anyway. We're going to finish this out. I've avoided saying that he should be out from here because I think every time I've said that so far, they've missed the ball. So. Oh, man. Yeah, I think he just wanted maybe a touch further away from it to make that a little easier killing, kind of shooting toward a blind side pocket there. And tight to these are, it's definitely a tough shot.
Yeah, and there'll definitely be frustration for David Matlock. It won't necessarily about. He won't be, I don't think, bothered by the result specifically. I think he'll be more upset with the fact that he had the chances to change this scoreline. Sometimes in this game, you just don't get the chances to win, and that's how it goes sometimes against the best players in the world. There's not been the opportunity that David Matlock has had. It's not been the look that he's had in this game. There has been chances, they've fallen by the wayside, and Chris Melling has been more than happy to gobble them up. He goes into the semi-final with a really good performance there from Chris, and plenty to look forward to because he plays the winner of our final quarterfinal coming up in just a moment, and it should be a belter.
Somebody who knows a little bit about Sam Henderson on the table. I'm joined by Mr. Cleve Thompson. Cleve, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Oh, look at that 8 ball. Look at that break.
Yeah, it's good.
My goodness.
It's a good break, but it's just a bit fiddly. I mean, he's got traffic at the top on both color sets.
Where that 8 ball is,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So you had a tough match against Sam.
Yeah,
you played really well in the beginning.
Yeah, he played. You know, taking nothing away from the kid. He shot very well. That's a good shot there. If he's got angle to shoot into the side pocket and off the top rail and get onto the 9 ball, that's an excellent shot. I can't see, judging on the angle. If he's just against it, he might be able to brush off the 6 ball.
Come back for the 9 ball. Yeah. Well, yeah, the match with you and Sam was very entertaining. Oh, watch out, 8 ball.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he just got there, but he had to take a gamble when he's being rewarded. So if he outstays, this is a good out because those 3 shots were very key.
Yeah. Have you watched Justin Bergman yet?
So he was playing on the table next to me in the Open.
Yeah.
And he looked comfortable. I mean, I noticed they were he was putting the headboard on the
oh, was
spot.
he?
Yeah, and still calling the 8 ball. But I think it was 2 American guys, so they were kind of inexperienced with the setup. I actually witnessed an illegal start, shall I say? So 3 balls didn't pass the airstream, but they continued the rack. So just inexperience, but I'm sure.
Little growing pains, but that's going to happen.
Yeah, sure.
There's players out there who, when they sign up for a tournament, they're going to go read every single rule that there is, and they're going to ingrain them into their brain. And there's players who are going to sign up for a tournament, never read a single rule, and just go play, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
The very best in the U.S.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who do believe that, everybody has opinions.
Yeah, sure.
But you can't fight with statistics. And statistics say that Justin Bergman just simply doesn't miss very much.
So it should be solids here. So take the 6 ball long.
I actually like the stripes.
You like the stripes?
I don't see any issues with the stripes.
What, the 15 ball?
Oh, I do see that now. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're right. The solids.
The solids. You could just stun this, take the 3 ball while it's on there, and then just sort of like track across the table, and you kind of got options after that.
And that pesky 15 ball messed up everything because the stripes looked really, really good.
So he's just attacking his 5 ball now, again, which is preference. If he's going to attack the 5 ball, he's going to have to probably see. I think he should have got rid of the 3 ball, me personally, because now he's got to get shape on it again, where he already had a normal shape, and then you kind of like just take your medicine after that, kind of reroute.
Well, I think rolling up, I think you can take the 7 here and just roll forward and leave himself a shot for the 3 ball, or roll up, leave himself a shot for the 1 ball, and then take the 3 afterwards.
But then the problem after that is that the 2 ball is in a smelly spot now.
Yeah.
Although it's in the middle of the kitchen, it's actually in a weird spot to transition.
Especially with the 3 ball being on the rail.
Exactly, and not a lot of gap between. So I think he should have taken that 3 ball early. I mean, he can. He's on it now. Okay, he's on it now. So this is
a smart play.
Yeah. So take the 2 ball. He's gone twice across, and yeah, he's okay. He's okay there. Just track across the table. Yeah.
Yeah, really. He just needs to make this ball, and if he does, he'll come right across towards the 13.
Yeah. The cue ball will just take care of itself.
Yep. Just needs to make the ball, and this isn't the easiest shot in the world.
No. The good thing about the cue ball will just take care of itself.
And he actually caught a little bit of the point there on that shot.
Okay.
I'd like to see that again because I think he got very fortunate that he caught as little as he did.
So he just wants to just top it through, trace off left, high left. Just a little trace. That's about perfect.
Yeah, that's great right there. Well, Sam Henderson holding his own against the iceberg, Justin Bergman.
Yeah.
8 ball down, but if it does go to that judge's scorecard, you're just hoping that you do enough to get the win, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's where we stand.
That's harsh because he popped them very well and dry. And
look at how open this is.
Yeah, I mean
the stripes are beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be honest, the solids aren't that bad either, but the stripes are the obvious choice.
So he's just going to stun this over, miss the 3 ball.
Now, if I'm Sam here, I'm taking 15 seconds a shot. There's still quite a bit of time left.
Yeah, but at the same time, I've seen players change their pattern because of the clock.
And it causes them to miss?
Yes, because they're overthinking it. So if it's not if they're easy, just run them out, take the point, take the
It's a tough strategy because there's ways for both to work. Right. So, yeah, I mean,
so it's just called an extension just now.
See, and I think I'd take on the easier shots, the ones that you really just can't miss. I think you take time. But if it's something that you need to give a little respect to, I think you just shoot comfortably as much as you can, right?
Yep.
Now this here,
I'm glad he's taking the 11 last rather than the 10 ball last.
I'm not sure he wanted to.
Well, if he didn't want to, then he should have gone definitely a different route.
I think he came up a little short on his 11. I may be wrong.
Yeah, I just think that getting out from because the 10 was so deep in the pocket.
Yeah.
It makes it hard just to make that transition back to the 8 ball, especially when the 8 ball wasn't accessible into the top corner. If it was accessible to the top corner, top left, he probably would have took the 10 ball last and just fired the 8 ball straight to the top as a straight shot.
Yeah.
But the 3 was in the way. But
I tell you what, this kid right here, there's people in Iowa, Illinois.
And he scratched again. I mean, there's no excuse for for the side pocket scratching. And this looks like Sam can have his victory here. The solids look really, really good here.
Yeah, and just to confirm, at the beginning of this match, just under 4 minutes left.
4 minutes, yeah.
So here's the spot where, if I'm Sam, I really just slow it down as much as I can.
Yeah, I mean,
as much as comfortable.
I think just run them out. These are all good. I mean, he's going to take the 3 into the side, 4 ball, 5 ball, 6 ball, 1 ball. He's barring a lack of concentration, and it'll have to be a super lack of concentration. And he doesn't look nervous, to be honest with you. Even when the 15-second clock is in play, he stepped up a little bit. A few times he got tight, but
for being 17 years old, this kid is immaculate.
Yeah. Because he's landed absolutely just off straight. You can just hold this through the window between the 13 and the 15. Okay, he's come through the gap, but that's
this
okay.
This is a tough.
Yep.
Not a tough shot at all.
No. And he smelt the victory right now.
Well, no time needed. This is going to be a 6-3 victory for Sam Henderson. Wow, what an incredible match. Justin Bergman taking a very tough loss. Couldn't get it going on the break.
Well,
And we are off. Ricky Evans with the opening break of the match. He's made a ball. He has a first opportunity. It's not a particularly easy one. Yeah, that was tough. Forced into that shot because the cue ball leave wasn't the kindest. But all of a sudden, this finish looks a hell of a lot easier for Jordan Shepherd, and he's got more options on the table. He could go stripes if he wanted. And there it is. You heard it there from myself and Stephen out in the arena. The big battle here is, it feels like you've got a shootout expert and you've got an American pool expert. Both experts in their field. Something's got to give though. And it'll just be fascinating to see which one does. Jordan in prime position to knock off this first rack. Just needs to mind his work a touch. That's the only thing that can really go wrong. Oh, he's got away with one. He's got away with one here. One-legged, and it goes.
So the problem with this shot is that he's going to have to draw, but he's also going to have to play it with inside, because if you draw this ball to this rail, to the bottom rail, it's going to come too wide. So it's a very difficult shot, and I think he got a little overzealous there on the stroke. Ricky Evans needs to take this opportunity right now to finish this rack out and take Jordan out of the equation. It's what he's going to have to do.
What we're seeing here, Stephen, is there's a little bit of edge on this match. We've seen a lot of first visit clearances, a lot of flawless action really throughout the day. I mean, especially from both of these two players who played beautifully to be in this position here in the semi-final. All of a sudden, you're in a big semi-final, and sometimes it feels like you're in a big semi-final, and it's quite often a bit of a trope that semis sometimes are harder to win than the actual big dance.
Well, and you know, honestly, without putting too much blame, it might have something to do with us, because we both discussed with each player about their opponent. We may have put it in their head a little bit, which wasn't the intention, but there is a story here. These two guys have arguably had the performances of the tournament so far, barring Sam Henderson's victory over Bergman. I mean, there's a lot of pressure here. It's important to win this game. You're guaranteed the finals. You're guaranteed a nice little cash payout. And these guys have worked hard all day. They don't want to come up short.
Speaking of coming up short, I think he's landed perfect here, Ricky. Big shot, though. Oh, he's played this well.
Nice little come out.
Oh, wants to keep running. Yeah,
this is
perfect. Brilliant shot.
Yeah, and the crowd's going to cheer for that one because that was a beautiful shot.
Ricky Evans squares things up because all of a sudden there's a bit of jeopardy involved. There's a prize to be won. Place in the final. Jordan Shepherd makes a ball. He's not done that very often in this game. And how is the leave? I don't think it is too bad. Don't think it's bad at all. He'd love to be able to see a stripe, but he may be forced into solids. Let's see.
I actually like playing the 5 and just
hit the top
up.
cushion. Yeah, I think that's the shot.
I think if he can nail that shape, I don't think he did. If he can nail that shape, solids are the bet, but you gotta nail the shape. Let's see, he's having to run backwards now because his 3 ball was where he needed to be to get on his 1, and he's just taking all his shots away. I hope it doesn't cause him to run into huge issues trying to run this rack out.
It may well do. What he could do is use the 7 ball up at the top as a little bit of a connector. He can land short position on that. He can do that here if he wanted. Oh, I tell you what, how good a shot is this?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
how
what he
good a
needed
shot
right there.
is that?
And here he can just play the 2, bump the 10, and take the 7 straight down to the corner pocket if he wants to, if that's how he chooses to play it.
That's such a good shot from Jordan Shepherd. It really is. Classy touch.
Simple shot, but as effective as could be.
Do you know what will please Jordan the most about that shot is he got his line spot on.
Yeah.
That's what he's been struggling with all day, is knowing where that cue ball is going to be, knowing the line of his shot and his pace, and he absolutely nailed it there.
Well, and Jordan Shepherd really has just had an immaculate day, and I think I haven't given him his due credit because his matches have been so quick and so devastating for their opponents. Look at this.
He caught those nice, but he's going to go in off. And now then, it's not all over for Ricky Evans. We've seen him dance with this match clock before. He needs to take out a very quick finish.
Very quick.
And give himself a shot.
Sub 45 seconds is what he really needs to do here.
Yeah, he's got to fly. Because Jordan just broke, it means that should Ricky want to get himself level, he's going to need to play 3 frames, and 2 of those are going to be on the Jordan Shepherd break, which means he will need to clear them. You can't rely on a golden duck, really. You've just got to do 2 quick clearances there.
Time's running, kid. You're going to have to fly.
And that could be that.
Oh, no.
And that could be that. That should be that.
I really feel for Ricky Evans in this spot because he didn't really play all that bad. The score doesn't tell the story. But
it's decided on moments. We say it all the time in Shootout Pool. It's won on moments, and Jordan Shepherd has won the majority of the big moments. Ricky's won a couple, but in those key swing frames, they've by and large fallen to the Welsh Wizard.
Well, in any combat sport, it's not about how many punches you throw, it's about how many punches you hit. And Jordan has hit a few. And it looks like he is on the path to knock out here and force himself a spot into the finals. Ricky Evans coming up just a little short. Yeah, see Jordan slowed down. He knows where he's at now. He doesn't have to run this rack out. he can just play smooth.
Yeah, he's still going to try and make it, which is why he took that 3 ball on. If he was just chewing clock, he'd have taken the 4 at the top of the table, I'm sure. But Ricky's going to keep him honest here.
And I think Ricky knows what's going on.
We may see the concession here, though. It's that.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Brilliant match, that one. 2 fabulous players. And for Ricky Evans, a shame to see him lose. He's been fabulous today. And he thinks he potted a ball better then than he does now.
I'm not sure about that one.
but it's all relative, of course. But he says the experience he has now and the way he sees the game now, he feels he doesn't need to rely as much on that, and he feels like he's a completely better player than he was back then. Right now we're seeing the best version of Chris Melling, is what Chris Melling thinks. That's a scary thought.
And I can't really fight with that. I'd like to take credit for the Louisiana Open kicking off a winning streak for Chris, because he was able to snap off the inaugural event over there, won the Open event, and then just went on a tear through Europe, winning all kinds of stuff. Again, super high finish in the World Championships, the Masters event. I mean, he literally got off the plane a couple days ago. He had been on the plane for 20, 30, however many hours.
Oh, cue ball's in here.
Oh, no. That's brutal. That's unfortunate.
This is going to test young Sam. It's going to test that mentality that we've praised so often today, because he's had a couple of moments of real misfortune, and we're talking real small margins. In the first frame, he's overrun a shot by a few inches. It's killed his chances of winning the frame. Should have been 1-0 up. In the second frame, he's had a pretty unlucky nudge off a cannon. He's gone in off. He's going to find himself 2-0 down here. And the important thing for young Sam is how he responds to it. Can he keep that composure that you spoke so highly of earlier on?
Well, I'd like to think that he can, but you're right. This is going to test him as far as that composure goes. He's got to hold it together, and I think he will. I really do. Whether or not he is able to mount a comeback, I would just like to see the young gun hold his own for the rest of this match. I know the fans out there want to see him make a big comeback against Chris.
I gave myself a go.
Bettendorf, Iowa. I know for a fact that he has a huge fan base in Illinois. There's actually a very nice pool hall up there that he's played out of multiple times. Those guys really, really like Sam. They've been around him a lot. They've seen him grow as a player. So I know there's a lot of people all around watching this. And I could probably name off 10 by hand that I know are watching Sam Henderson right now try to beat Chris Melling. And he's got a good start here. Could have been better, but
Fourth frame in the row is that first visit. He couldn't have wished for a better start in terms of opportunity. He could and should be 3-0 up. But, you know, let's not be too hard on him. Had a couple of bad moments of bad luck, but what I've been so impressed by all day long is Sam's mentality, his fortitude, his composure. So right now he's not going to be thinking, oh, I should be 3-0 up. He's thinking, I've got a chance to go 2-2.
And these players, I was trying to think to myself if they had ever played before, if they'd ever been matched up. It just dawned on me that they are both on the same team. They are on Team Q-Tech. So probably been around each other a little bit, but maybe not ever played.
I don't think they have, just from what Sam told me in his interview about just how excited he was to play Chris Melling. I suspect they haven't played before. He's got a shot to play here. Just having a little look at the table here. The one looks really tight, really tight. Having a good look at it to the bottom left corner. This is super close.
Shot.
He's digging this. Oh, he's cut it. What a fabulous pot that is.
Yeah, that's a great shot there, and he's actually got a pretty good lay here. If he's able to shoot the 2 and just keep it smooth, he can cut the 5 and allow the cue ball to just run into the 8. The 3 ball's there. He should be able to get out here with no issues as long as his lay on the 5 ball is workable. Oh, yeah. This should work out really well.
I mean, how good a pot was that into a completely blind side pocket?
Those tough, sharp cuts are something that what I've noticed our junior players are, again, we talk about them being fearless. That's a fearless shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he came out okay. The 8 ball almost locked him up a little bit. He hit it higher than he wanted to, but the 3 ball definitely goes, and so does the 8 ball. He's just got to take his time on the 3, make it, and you're golden. He put a little bit of draw on that ball, and it caused it to kill off the rail. And he's in a bit of a spot here now. I don't like the angle off the 8. He's going to send his cue ball flying around the table.
It does go into the left corner pocket. I can tell you that. Definitely goes.
I don't think he's going to miss it. I'm worried about the cue ball.
8 ball's good. How's the cue ball?
Oh,
Also pretty good. And those are the finishes that can just hurt your opponent.
then we are going to see a Chris Melling, Jordan Shepherd final. If Chris is able to get out of this rack, he's got some trouble here. Time is on his side. The current score is on his side.
Well, if this 14 goes, it makes Chris's life a lot easier. And it can't do because he'd have played on it there. So I just wonder what the plan is.
The way this dressed up, I feel like the 15 into the 14 is or 15 into the 10, excuse me, is going to be the shot here, just kind of as a flyer maybe.
Oh, great call.
I say flyer, but I mean, is anything really a flyer with Chris?
No.
Chris doesn't shoot flyers, he shoots shots.
He's got to have a plan. I'm so intrigued as to what it is.
So what I think here is I think he's just going to try and float this into the side pocket if he can, and then just simply bank the 14. Oh, I didn't even see the 10 over there on the sideline. He's going to break it out here.
Oh, what a pot.
Oh, this doesn't make it easy. Now he's got to bank this 14 ball, but the 1 ball's really put him in a nasty spot. I don't think he can play the bank the way he wants to. I lied. Wow.
Here we go. He's at it again. He's at it again.
Is there anything he can't make?
I'll answer your question after this 12 ball. He's a little bit special.
You talk about outs. This is one of the best outs I've seen all day, and we've seen a ton of them.
Chris Melling, the magician, waves his wand once again. This is it. It all comes down to this. Chris Melling breaks off in the Ultimate Pool USA Kansas City Shootout final. Stephen Jameson and Stephen Wyatt here with you to guide you through what should be a big occasion. 2 players from across the pond. One, I'm sure, very familiar with you. This man right here, Chris Melling. And another in Jordan Shepherd, who, if you didn't know him before today, well, you know him now. We've got 2 players here who know each other very, very well. You heard from Chris there a moment ago after his win over Sam Henderson in the semi-final. These 2 get along great on and off the table. They're good mates, as we say in the UK. But They are both fierce competitors, and they will be both itching to win this big prize. Should be a great game, Stephen.
Yeah, you know, and we've seen so much good pool today. We've seen incredible play by several players who maybe we weren't familiar with. We've seen incredible play by people that we are familiar with, and all roads led to this matchup. Chris Melling, of course, the magician, and Jordan Shepard playing with a borrowed cue and just getting used to the tables really has really been immaculate in this shootout. I'm excited to see what happens here. There's potential for a lot of crazy stuff, especially with the outs that we've seen Chris Melling make. We've seen some crazy outs from Jordan Shepard. And this is a different Chris here. This is a take his time route so far. We've seen Chris clear racks in 45 seconds to a minute. And this is a 2-minute rack here, and it's not something I'm used to seeing.
I think it's one of those where he had to play the table a little bit. It was a really, really fiddly finish, this. And, I mean, full credit to Chris. He's on the verge of getting it. He's one good shot away, you feel like.
It is a tough one. It's not a guarantee.
Oh, that looked like it rolled off, honestly. That looked like it was in all the way.
Well, we've seen the table play pretty well. Haven't seen anything too crazy, but again, played it a little soft, and anytime you play a ball soft like that, there's always the potential.
Oh,
but
wow.
it actually hit the rail a little bit, so it probably helped promote coming out. That's such a tough shot. And Jordan here with a stolen opportunity.
Yeah, and you've got to think about it from Jordan's perspective. He's not going to feel any sympathy whatsoever to Chris Melling's plight. That's not his job in this final. You could see how quickly he was up to the table when Chris, tentative to use the word, missed that 4-ball. It's a big moment, this, even in the early going. That's a lovely shot.
And that looked like somebody who's been playing on a Valley bar table for years played that shot. Jordan really getting comfortable with the way the table moves, the way the balls move. And the arena, oddly, oh, wow. You can't use any more of that pocket than he just did. But it went in. That's what matters.
It did.
And the arena is oddly quiet here as these players finish out. Great shot there. Jordan Shepard takes the first rack. You have a chance of scratching here. Did he try to play the combo?
I'm not too sure, in all honesty. I'd love to see a replay of that one. He's had a bit of a nudge, actually, with knocking the 15 towards the 8-ball.
Anytime you jack up on the ball, it's very difficult to aim where you want to. But I really think that was just a mishit on his part. He wanted to shoot the one in the corner. And Chris probably feeling pretty fortunate to be back at the table here.
It's a confident stroke, isn't it, from Chris? You can see how far he's pulling the cue back. It just shows a player is in complete control and rhythm, complete confidence in what's about to happen.
I think with the addition of more and more people into the arena,
Oh, let's try again.
the table has just started playing a little differently, and Chris's break is not working for him.
He's not doing anything wrong. Look at the amount of balls on the move here. Majority of the balls end up in the top half of the table. It's pretty unlucky, you've got to say. Jordan Shepard just looks up there. Got spooked by something in the area. Not too sure what happened there. It's okay.
Well, I can't believe it's taken me this long to make this line, but I've always wondered who would win between a magician and a wizard.
Yeah, I'm going to reuse a line that I've used over in the UK, just full transparency, because this matchup isn't new for me, but it is for the US listeners. And this right here is Paul's equivalent of the Prestige.
I love it. I love it. Well, right now, the wizard is winning because he does have a lead and he is in control of this rack.
Is that Christian Bale's character? Or
Oh,
he's in good shape here. Here's Jordan, he really is. And even with plenty of time remaining and 13 minutes in shootout pool with plenty of time, a 4-1 lead feels like a big lead.
I feel like there's a Harry Potter reference somewhere, but I can't think of one, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Probably for the best at this point. Yeah, pretty good from Jordan, and you can just see he's just starting to fizz. Yeah, he's looking really good. Difference between 5-1, 4-2, enormous, and he's still having no joy in his break. And Jordan Shepherd has the chance to win the tournament right now. He's looking at Stripes. And Stripes just looked real good.
Yeah, and the way he's approaching the table now, he's oozing confidence. The end is in sight. It's like you can see the finish line, and he knows he's in a good spot here. Doesn't have much to worry about, just execute.
This is just about keeping concentration. These are all there. Just hold your nerve.
Ooh, got a big draw on that one. Don't think he expected that one.
I think it's the first time he's played a draw shot all competition.
Yeah. But we were playing around the other day, and he did say, "Uh-oh."
Oh, now then.
That changes things, but he can use the breakout right here. He can actually just move the 3-ball. If he can just move the 3-ball, he'll be fine.
Big shot, though. He's going to have a bank. Oh, he's going to have more than that.
Oh, he's going to have less than that.
Or is he? Yeah.
Oh, what do you do here? He's going to cross it. Didn't even think about it.
What a way to win it for Jordan Shepherd. The Welsh wizard conjures up an 8-ball that will live very long in the memory for him. A spectacular victory. 6-1 over Chris Melling. What a performance. And in Jordan Shepherd's first ever American pool tournament, he has gone and won it. Absolutely amazing.
Didn't even think about the last shot. He was feeling so good. He looked at it and he said, you know what, I'm just going to make it. And he fired it in the hole with such confidence.
The Ultimate Pool President, Jordan Shavush, and our owner here at Side Pockets, Bill Fickle, to make the presentations. Your Kansas City Shootout champion is Jordan Shepherd.